everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. I thought on the last nice day of the year, I'd sit outside and film this today. There's some landscaping going on near me. I wanted to talk about how I healed my stenosis naturally. Didn't do any meds or injections or anything. So in the middle of 2014, one day, don't mind the guy spraying the grass. Anyway, so in 2014, suddenly one day, I had a ton of back pain. I didn't know what it was, and it kind of happened the year before that too, and it went away in 2 or 3 weeks with just some simple exercises, but this didn't go away. So I made an appointment at the orthopedic specialist where I already had a physical therapist. They always take x-rays. The x-rays showed nothing, but he prescribed physical therapy. So I asked for my same physical therapist who put me through his battery of tests and took a guess at what it was. The thing is, the insurance doesn't let you do an MRI till 6 weeks have gone by. So all of a sudden, with all that pain and everything, I had pain in my lower right side of the back, and then a plant just fell, and then shooting pains down my right leg, nerve pain, so that I would feel all the way down to my shin. So 6 weeks later, we finally had the MRI, and I was diagnosed with what's called foraminal stenosis. Now, this is different from spinal stenosis. Spinal stenosis is right in the spinal column where there's bony growth on the inside of the spine, and it's constricting the nerve. And people who have spinal stenosis are probably in more pain than I was. The foraminal means that the stenosis, the narrowing, is going out the side. And for me, it's in the lower back on the right, L2, 3, 4, somewhere around there. And it's probably in 3 places. So that's what, my physical therapist had guessed that that's probably what it was from what gave me pain and what gave me relief. So to give you the time frame of this, the pain happened in mid-June. I finally called to make an appointment a couple weeks later, and I got the doctor appointment in mid-July. I started physical therapy the last week of July, and then finally we did the MRI in early September, so 6 weeks later. The pain was a little bit better then, but not much. And when I mean pain, I mean walking hurt, standing for long hurt. I couldn't mow the lawn. I couldn't clean my house. I couldn't do a lot of things that normally people would do. And I had to just breathe through the pain. And sometimes the pain would almost take my breath away. It would take my words away if I was sitting in a group and it was my turn to talk. If I got that pain, I was just like, ugh. So by the time I had that MRI, it was mid-September, kept doing the exercises, kept doing the physical therapy. Then in mid-October, a friend of mine who's a chiropractor, Dr. Denise Shostak, sent me an article about an MD who did some studies, who works in homeopathy, and did some studies on her own patients who had spinal stenosis, and they got better. And at first I saw the article and I didn't even read it. I thought, homeopathy, yeah, okay, whatever. Didn't read it. I'm not one who responds to herbs like most people do. I usually have no response. So finally, in desperation, I read the article and I was just blown away by what happened with these patients. And most of her patients were older than I am, and they all got better. And they had all been in debilitating disease from the spinal stenosis and the spinal column. So I looked at how much the homeopathic remedies cost, and they were really inexpensive. They didn't cost much at all. And then I thought, well, what have I got to lose? But Dr. Shostak reached out to Dr. Katchen, who had written the article, and they spoke to say, do you think that Glory will get relief? She doesn't have spinal stenosis, she has foraminal. And the doctor said, well, I don't know. It depends on whether some of the stenosis on the foraminal side is from the bony growth, because that's what this eats at. So I said to Denise, it's so cheap, what have I got to lose? I'm going to try it. and I'm going to give it a minimum of 6 months, and I'm not even going to judge it until the 4-month mark. The 4-month mark, then, I'll decide whether I think I'm feeling better. So sure enough, 4 months into, I started the treatment on October 23rd of 2014. 4 months in would have been end of February, and I realized, I am feeling better. I'm not 100%, but I'm feeling better. And the 6-month mark was April 23rd of 2015. And I was definitely by then feeling so much better. I could walk. Now, my physical therapist told me I can't race walk ever again. It'll undo all my stuff. But I was in the winter, like in February or that, I did go cross country skiing. He said I could do that. He told me not to pick up running again, but if I have to walk really fast or jog, like maybe I come out of a store and it's raining, that used to give me a lot of pain, but I have no pain. So I wanted to share with you what these remedies are. I wasn't familiar with homeopathy. So the first thing is something called Hecla Lava 30C. So let me see. I want to show you this, and let's get into focus. It's made by Boyron. This is the company. And it comes in a little thing like this. And they're just, these little white pellets are in here. They look like candy. And what you do with this, you take a jar, like a mason jar like this. I got this at a craft store like Michael's or Joann's. You put 6 ounces of filtered water in here and 1 pellet, just 1. Put the lid on and put it in the refrigerator. And I take 1 teaspoon of this in the morning and 1 teaspoon of this in the evening. And then the second thing we take, I'll put the formal name of it down below, but this is called Calc Flor 6X. It has a longer Latin name. And these are little tiny tablets. They look like this. And they're sublingual. And I take 4 of these a day in the morning. I put them under my tongue and they dissolve very, very quickly. And that's it. So obviously, if I'm using 1 of these, putting it into 6 ounces of water and taking 1 teaspoon twice a day, these are going to last me a long, long time. And that didn't cost much. This was maybe $8 or something. And then this one, the first time I bought these, I only bought a package of 100. Since I take 4 a day, now I take 500. This lasts me almost 6 months. There he is. And this costs less than $20. So that's what I say, $25 every 6 months, maybe. It's so cheap. So I'm still taking it. I'm still doing the exercises. I'm nearly pain-free, and now it is November of 2015, and I can't say enough. I was also offered by the orthopedist. He also does those injections, and I turned it down. And then when I talked about that later to my primary care physician, he said, yeah, that doesn't work for very many people. He's had a lot of patients do the injections. It's like 3 injections. And he said hardly anybody it works for. And he's even had them, my primary care. So they were okay about me turning that down. Originally, going way back, I did do some pain meds. But when I mean pain meds, I mean like aspirin or, let's see, one of these back and body type of things that have the aspirin. But then taking the aspirin was making my ears ring. And when I told the orthopedic specialist this, he said, oh, you've got to stop taking that aspirin. If it's making your ears ring, it's too much in your body. It took the pain away, but it's not worth messing up the rest of my body to take some kind, a regular pain med. He also prescribed, is it called naproxen? I took it way back when it was bad, when the pain was bad, but I didn't take it every day, again, because I'm small and just having the pain med in my body, that kind of gave my ears a little bit of ringing too. So this is what I mean by naturally. So between the exercise on the one hand and then this homeopathic treatment, it's not spinal stenosis. So if you know somebody with spinal stenosis, this apparently works really, really well. So with me, once in a while I get a little bit of a twinge, but it's more like a pressure. it's not that pain that took my breath away. So if you want a copy of the article that I mentioned, where Dr. Debra Katchen lists out her whole protocol, it's a very interesting article. The thing is, Dr. Shostak sent it to me, and it's not available online. So if you would like a copy of that, click below the video to open up the description box. My email address is there. Send me an email and ask me for the article by Dr. Katchen about the homeopathic treatment for stenosis. I would be happy to email that back to you. It's a PDF file. All right, so thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, clicking the button in the lower right-hand corner of the video that says subscribe, or I'll put another button on there that's obvious to subscribe. And thanks for watching.
Hi, I've been listening to some other folks on YouTube and